We're checking in on the garden, or the things that we have put in the dirt. If you want to call it a garden, you can. That's fine. So here we go. So here's our sunchokes. They're happy. Yeah. Right down here at the end of the sunchokes. Ta-da! Stuck some ginger in the ground. We bought some to try to sprout, and I think that's what that is. Ginger, yay! There's the sunchokes. And don't get distracted by the weeds. The things, big tall things. That's the sunchokes. They're seemingly happy. Here's one of our tiny little Christmas trees that has doubled in size. We still have quite a few of them that are hanging on and happy. These are the ones I'm really excited about. These are the Virginia pines. This is a green giant, and you can see the bright bits around the end. That is new, healthy growth. Unlike that cedar tree that we transplanted that does not look well or surviving at all. I think we were a little rough on that guy. There's some happy pepper plants. What kind are these?
Those are the poblanos.
These are poblanos, so here it is blooming. Very pretty little bloom. And then these are banana.
Yep.
This one's got a bloom.
Banana. It blooms.
And you can see my wiggly little row for bananas, and then green peppers down there. And then from this stick down are green bell. And then we have tomatoes. And tomato plants. Now these guys are almost up to my wife's knee versus the little like cup that they came in. These guys were itty bitty. They were only about that tall.
The one next to you.
Oh, there's one right next to me. We got blooms. We got blooms. We got blooms. And they seem happy. And this is our seemingly happy little experiment. This is corn. Yeah, it did get a little thick in spots.
Well, you have some on every row.
We have some on every row. And I think these guys are actually spaced apart properly. So that's about a foot apart. And then you can see where double seeds fell through. This is rather encouraging. I mean, all the way out to the end, most of them. Looks like we missed a beat there, but
Or they ended up.
we'll come back and look at the corn has been in the ground for 2 weeks and it was dry. We did not soak it. Typically when we do corn, we do soak it overnight before we put it in the ground, but this is using the cedar, the mechanical cedar, not the cedar tree, and I was not sure how well that was going to work. I could have soaked them and then let them air dry for a bit, but that seems a little redunculous. But we can see that we got lots of double seeds, and I did not double seed these end rows. It was only the first couple. That's a lot of corn. Now potatoes. Potatoes are something we started a while back, and this is the largest. Actually, the bed for the potatoes is as large as our garden at the house. Yeah, square footage wise, easily. And brief update on those. So here's our potatoes. And this isn't all of them. There are some that, kind of spread out over here. Are those beans?
Yes.
Oh, The bush beans?
Sure.
Maybe? Okay. Not quite sure.
I just poked some in where there were potato holes.
All right.
Because they're supposed to like to grow together.
And these guys are coming up on getting close to ready and mature. And we've got three different varieties. We've got red, white, and yellow. And some have done better than others. That guy looks a little puny. Maybe the way that the leaves are curling up is not quite right. But these guys, this one in particular, is massive. Looks like somebody, whatever this variety is on the end here, they do not seem to do very well. Got a lot of yellowing. Maybe they're mature, but somebody ate the top out of it. Got some curling of the leaves. So we'll learn from this data set. Maybe. These guys, and maybe it's the placement, the position in the garden. Maybe it's the dirt. Not really sure. We tried not to initially, we didn't hill them up. But over time, as we kind of raked the dirt up on top of the sprouts, so that we got more dirt on top of them, we ended up with hills, which was not the intention. And well, that one got chewed up pretty good. Guy right there. So, still excited.
And you're done talking to yourself on this.
And then there's beans in the places where there were holes. And I think these may be a bush type bean because I don't see tendrils coming out of them.
Or not yet.
Well, yeah, they should be there if they're going to be there. And then is that cantaloupe under the bottle?
Yes.
Or was that supposed to be cantaloupe under the bottle?
Yes.
There's a tiny little cantaloupe.
Yes.
Under the bottle.
That one's much more significant. My question is the bottom one.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Cantaloupe. So one of our favorite restaurants in town is a Vietnamese pho restaurant. And they always provide Thai basil on the side, which I don't eat. And it seems a shame to just throw it away. Apologies for the forehead. I'm looking down not to step on things. And this is that Thai basil. I rooted it in a little vase bottle in the kitchen. There's another one. And they seem to be doing quite well. Yep, that's it. It's a little more licorice-y in my tastes. And wild blueberries. We had more than that. We just, they didn't make it this far. We dropped them. Yeah, that's it. We dropped them. This is a wild grape vine that is dangling down into the road. I can't tell from here if it's muscadine or scuppernong. Those little guys right there, if I get it to focus, those would be potential grapes. Right there. Almost. There we go. Nope. Gotta do it this way. Backlight them. Those would be little grapes. Okay, so when we worked on the hoop trellis, we planted quite a bit. A lot. And so it's going to seem like there's a lot there, and there is, but just, be aware that there's going to be a lot of stuff there. Here's the hot peppers in the same place they were last year. I think jalapenos are closest to me, and then over there we have cow horns. She says we have blooms over there. They're looking good. And then of course there's her backside.
Yep.
And
Tiny pepper.
still some onions and garlic. And apparently we're already successful with a cow horn versus
There's another
just
one here.
the blooms there, and blooms and little bitty pepper.
There's it. Oh,
You guys look good. But yeah, that's a full-blown pepper. So here's the hoop. We've got cucumbers, and beans, and remember me telling you about the Malabar? I think that's Malabar. And those are radishes. Oh, that's a gourd, I think. Are the gourds on the inside or out? Oh no, wait, that's a nasturtium.
The gourds are on the inside.
That should be a nasturtium. And beans, 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 beans. We're gonna have to start training these guys to wrap around. There's radishes. And like I said, I think all of this is based on the purple. Zoom in. Based on the purple base, this is the Malabar. Most of these are, well, okay, all of these are volunteers. That's what all those little leaves through there are. They are seeded from last year's stock. Now, my wife did transplant a few like that, which has got secondary leaves on it now. But all of the rest of these are volunteers. 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 Oh, these are more nasturtiums. And those are good for, oh, there's another one. Pollinators and to help with, yeah, scaring off the pests. Yeah, I seeded a little heavy when we did some of this. What's the flag represent? You don't remember, do you? I don't either.
No.
There's more cukes
it was
or
supposed to represent the black gourd seeds, birdseed gourds, or
Okay.
birdhouse gourds versus the
good-looking ones.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I think that's what these guys maybe are.
No, I think those are cukes
Okay.
because we interplanted those,
Okay. And I'm not sure you.
and then we stopped with beans there, which is funny. And my God, at the Malabar. Now we experimented down the strip right in the middle of the hoop with carrots. So we have a few coming up. They do look different than grass. They look like this. And they start to get the little fuzzy tops on them really, really early. That's what their secondary leaves look like. So when you buy carrots with the tops on them in the store, that's what they look like right there. There's another one. Right there. So those are carrots.
Big one.
Yep. So that kind of sort of worked. We used the mechanical seeder. Oh, there's a big plop of them right there. Wow. Nice. And yet, this is not all. We still have more we're gonna go check on now. This is a very exciting little experiment that it doesn't look like the old seeds came up. These will be a favorite in the fall, and I'll tell you more. These guys are candy roaster squash. We get two little lines here. We had another line of older ones. These guys were purchased recently at a Ace Hardware, and then we had old seeds from these from actually having the fruit. And then I planted a bunch down here. We're experimenting with them to see how the soil, difference in the soil worked This is very organic, heavy, and this was very sandy. I don't think that had to do with the sprouting. The older ones may take longer based on some stuff that we've read. There have been, well, so candy roaster squash are also known as banana squash, and we'll show you what those look like in the fall. But to give you an idea, they've been grown in the Appalachian Mountains by Native Americans for centuries, centuries, and centuries. The package on these suggests that they may grow to 25 pounds. No, the records that we found indicate that Native Americans could grow them up to 250 pounds, and they're considered a winter squash because they last through the winter. When you pick them, much like a butternut squash or an acorn squash or a sweet dandy or a pumpkin, they last. You can store them and they'll last for a very long time. The meat just gets a little drier and pulls away from the seeds, but they offer nutrition throughout the winter. So these things can get huge. And the picture of my wife from, geez, I'll have to even look up the year because I don't remember that. This was our first experience with them, and candy roasters are used as an alternative for pumpkin. And butternut squash is also used as a substitute for pumpkin, but we found that the candy roasters were a little less sweet. They were milder in flavor and were quite nice because it added a lightness to the pies and whatever else was being prepared with the fruit. So they are quite neat. Those will be exciting because those are a bit of a, or would be a bit of a freak show in the local market here. Primarily grown in, well, our experiences have been grown in North Georgia, and when you do research, that talks about the North Georgia banana squash. So, fingers crossed. So we put bottles over.
I think they're technically watermelon seeds.
Okay, so we put these over the watermelon slash cantaloupe.
The leaves are different.
Yep. To protect them in their youthful stage. And then we've got another one over here, actually growing out of the top of the bottle. I read something some years ago, or my brother did, or something, that rabbits particularly like them up to the point that they put on their tertiary leaves. So that's the purpose for these, the bottles. And we'll see. We got another couple, and we're gonna try to miss the rain here in a second.
And it's starting to drip.
Yep. These guys were, I could have done a reveal picture, but we've got watermelon here that's all kind of wadded up, and then cantaloupe here that's a little bit stringier. I'm just gonna, sticks are to help remind us and also to help deter lynchy people. All right, and the rain is starting to fall, so that one we're gonna give just a little bit. We'll come out next week. Hope you enjoyed our update for the garden, and if you're half as excited as we are, then we're twice as excited as you about it. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.
Too many hobbies, not enough time.
It's a theme song, y'all.